are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Just search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars. We're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Reaching for the stars. I wonder where you are. Oh.
Welcome to this edition of the PulseChain Foundation update, whatever we're calling it now. So today I wanted to have just a quick one. We're going to talk with Quinn and we're going to, I guess, discuss some of the things that we've been doing the last month. And then we're going to discuss some of the things that we're wanting to do with the foundation and how we're wanting to create adoption and awareness for PulseChain. So those of you guys that are watching us right now through Twitter, I posted outside of the Twitter live stream, I posted our link for this channel. So if you guys want to stop by real quick and hit us with a like and a follow, we would appreciate that. This channel apparently only has like 70 viewers right now. So if we can grow it, it'll be awesome because this is the one that we're going to use to have the different updates. And this is the one that we're going to do for anything related to the PulseChain Foundation. So gonna bring in Quinn. There's like only one person watching us right now. So like I said, we're trying to just little by little just grow this channel. So this is where we'll have our updates and this is where we'll communicate from. Later, we'll join with some of the other guys from the board that are in our group, and then we'll continue little by little. So, hola.
Hey, hola. Am I the one person watching?
It might be. It might be. Maybe you, and then maybe I'm the other person, and I didn't like close the app.
Good, that's how I like it.
So we might be like just watching ourselves right now. I mean, on Twitter there should be a couple people watching. I just over there on that one, I don't get to see unless I go in there. So some people might be confused right now because there might be a live stream going on Twitter, but not on the identity block channel.
That
So
would be confusing.
right. So yeah, if you guys are watching us on Twitter, just remember go outside of the live stream on Twitter and then click on that link and give us a follow. Then you can go back to Twitter and watch us from over there. So how's your night going?
Good, good. I didn't have any pulse chain swag tour. Well, the only pulse chain anything I have is from PulseCon. So I
There you
don't have
go. That's a good yeah. It's a good reminder what not to do.
just thinking about
Um,
selling the merch.
there you go. You might get like $5 for some of those
I wonder what would
T-shirts.
happen if I just wore it like one day, just be a troll and just wear it, wear my hat and my shirt.
I mean, those are classics now. They're like gonna be like collectibles.
Throwbacks. when
Yeah.
to win T Money needed $600,000 from the community. Was it six hundred
Uh,
thousand or three hundred
no, I was
thousand?
on like 350 only.
Oh, yeah. I'll hold on to them.
So who knows? Maybe it'll be like physical
Collector's
NFTs.
item.
Yeah, at one point they'll be worth at least $6. There you go, from 5 to 6.
That'd be sweet if they ever are worth like $350,000. Sorry.
The way we're printing money, it could be. If the dollar gets like devalued that much, that you would need
That
to
would
have
be a lot.
350,000 units to get access to that. But I guess what we're trying to do on this channel, it's little by little we're trying to create just a place that we can go where all the information is in the same area. We might we're going to be doing workshops out of this channel. We're going to be doing all kinds of things out of this channel. So what we need to focus on is on education. That's the main reason that we wanted to register the foundation, because we wanted to make sure that when things like are happening right now this week in our ecosystem, that we could have a consistent voice on um, on the changes, on the updates, whatever you want to call it. Because I could tell that right now that's the problem that we're having. That whenever there's all these changes happening, we we take like a week or even longer. Then there's a lot of people that have their own opinions, and that's great. Having opinions and dialogue and debate and banter, that's great. But I think that the message needs to be consistent, especially on the main voices, right, of the community. What do you think?
Yep. There's just too much
So,
going on anymore. We need a place
great
that
point.
you can get trusted information from.
Good deal. Yeah, it seems that that's what we're having right now. That we're having a lot of information coming from different places, and then people confuse yeah, I think people are getting confused at this point because, for example, I'm noticing that we're confusing some of the things that we're doing outside of crypto with the things that we're doing in crypto with the things that we're doing with the community. And that's, I guess that's the part that a lot of people don't like about my message, because I think that it's a boring message. It's, talking about being in the rules and keeping all these regulations and controlling
Well,
what we're
it's
doing
an
so that.
important message,
Mhm. I think
whether
so.
it's boring or not.
I mean, I think it is because at least I thought that if we had that type of consistent message where everyone knew what we're talking about, then we wouldn't get in trouble with the regulators. And now we wouldn't be going through this thing that Richard is going through, because I thought that the product was launched in a way that it should have been accepted. It was just, completed product. And I think that some of the issues that we've had might have been later, when it comes to marketing or how we presented ourselves or things that we were saying as a community, or I mean all kinds of other things that they just they affect the Howey test, and they affect the regulations that cover crypto. That makes sense.
Well, we're gonna be having a lot of no coiners, new coiners coming into the space. Like we need to, because the PulseChain Foundation is for education purposes, right?
Correct.
Gonna have to dummy it down quite a bit for some of these new people coming in to the ecosystem. Just a thought. Just a thought,
I mean, I
because
think it's a great thought.
like for instance, with Texan
Hmm.
Token,
Hmm.
the Texan national movement, like I thought they didn't know a lot, or they didn't know anything, but um, just with Matt talking to Graham Moore and the English Constitution Society, they know zero, nothing. So we're gonna need some like serious noob content for them.
We'll go back to do that. Yeah, of course. Like little by little, we'll make sure that we're asking the right questions. We need to like troubleshoot and just do as many probing questions as possible. So that way we make sure that we're focusing on the right content, right? So it's like not what we want to talk about, but what people are wanting to learn about.
Or
So I
needing
think
to
that,
learn about.
or needing, great point, babe. I think that at least everything that's happening right now with the, here, let's share this because that way we'll have always these links on our on the stream. With the updates that are happening right now, you can go in and check the GitLab and get that update, and that way you get access to real DeFi. So it's, I mean, I'm happy that this is happening, because it's like we were saying earlier in the other stream, like there's a chance that someone else could have just built all these products, now just kind of disappear and then not care how we get access to our, to our funds. And it's awesome that RH is thinking ahead of the game, and giving us this options where now it's not centralized anymore. Like they cannot stop our access to PulseChain, PulseX, Hex. So and little by little, I'm already hearing. I heard Matt and Brendan talking about doing the same thing for the Texan front end. So it's good that then now other communities are going to start doing this as well, and then this is going to make this now a standard where like it looks like it's going to be more it is going to be additional steps, of course, but yeah, little by little we'll be able to learn. It's just an additional step now that we have to.
have
Let's
to
see
take.
here. Doc says 2:20 a.m. here. We'll catch the replay. We appreciate you, Doc. Thank you for even stopping. Lo says, what up? It's on Twitter's Identity Block channel. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Love hate relationship due to the fact that many people will get scam links. I'm sure. Yeah, no, the first time that I had that thought was probably when we had the issue, I want to say maybe 6 months ago. And it was actually on this same channel. It's just we were calling it the Metafy Shack. And the video that we did was in relation to MetaMask and now all these new updates that they were having with Infura. So we were telling everyone just be careful because that was the main thought. Like everyone was like, "Oh my god, what's happening? What's happening?" And it took me like maybe half an hour to figure out that everything that they were requesting now, all the data that they were, recording and saving, it was the same thing that they were doing 5 and 6 years ago. So it just took me a quick search on the Wayback Machine and then looking up their user agreement back 6 years ago, which it was the oldest one that I could find. Their company's actually more like 8 or 9 years now, but the one that I could find, it was basically the same thing. So it's just back then they had it in a broader type definition, and then now it specifically said we're gonna track your ID, we're gonna track your public wallets, we're gonna track all this other stuff. But it's all the same. They've always been tracking the data. That was another thing that I wanted to share with you guys. This video that I clipped from uh, where from the other channel. You're gonna get a load of data. Remember that what they're getting from Binance that's worth more than $4 billion is our data. It's our data. The data is what they want. They don't want the 4 billion. The 4 billion is like their play. Sure, they got $4 billion from Binance. Great. Um, it's the data because Binance is one of the oldest working exchanges.
Is it the data?
Well, I mean, like this is that joke that people say the data is the new bacon.
I've never heard that before.
You've never heard data is the new bacon? What?
No, the new bacon.
Yeah,
I've heard orange is the new black,
data is the new bacon.
and bacon is bacon. Like
Yeah, like bacon.
bacon,
Yeah,
bacon.
here. Let's see if I can find it. Here, there you go. Can't believe you never heard about this. It's the new bacon. But I
Did
mean,
you
like,
did
think
you
about it.
make that?
I did not make this. No. I mean, I should make one. It looks a little better.
Put it on a hoodie.
No, it's not going into a hoodie because it's just this is what they want. This is what like that metadata that it's gonna end up in Siberia somewhere, with all our trades. But it's just think about it. If Binance has been active for however long, and now
Peanuts.
all of a sudden the IRS, the Treasury Department, the Department of Justice, all at once can go in and request all this information. I mean, it's like win-win because they're getting. I mean, this is insane. I can't even believe it. They're getting $4 billion. They're getting CC to step down, and the biggest part of it is they're getting like 6 years of metadata from Binance. So I mean, I'm predicting this already. Next year, the SEC is gonna break a record of penalties. So the record is like 6 point something $billion. Next year they'll probably do like 8 or something. Because by them accepting all this data from accepting for our protection, feel so safe. Um, I mean, they're gonna get so much info. I mean, I salivate a little bit by thinking how much data they're gonna get because I mean, think about it. It'll connect with everything. They're gonna know where all the transactions from Binance Wallet 14 went. Yeah, you don't know about that, but
All I know is that you're kind of obsessed with it.
with what? With data?
No, Wallet 14 or whatever. That
Oh, Binance Wallet 14. Yeah, because I get curious. I get curious
I hear you
whenever I
say that a
do
lot.
whenever you do chain analysis, and then you can see certain transactions all the way till reach a broker. Once they reach the broker, what they do is like the exchanges, they have all these multiple wallets that, like for example, Binance, they have like all these multiple wallets that they all go to, however many people. It could go to like 100 different people. So you'll have money coming in and then it'll go out into a different wallet. So after that point, it's a
What's
little harder to
special
track.
about Wallet 14?
Binance, that it gets a lot of withdrawals from the Hex community, from the
Oh,
PulseChain community.
oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. There's a specific project that hasn't launched that they've withdrawn a bunch of millions
Oh,
of dollars, and then every time they withdraw, they send it to that wallet. So I always joke about that wallet. Anyways, allegedly, but
I didn't mean
if
to
anyone
bring
gets
up a wallet.
no, 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 it's just it's good information. It's good for knowledge. Like we were talking about that. That is good for clarification. Anytime that way we don't have to talk about it in general and get people upset that we're not talking about. So, but yeah, I think that we should talk about other stuff then.
I think we should also talk about other stuff. I think.
There you go. So there's low in the chat, and maybe Doc's always says that he's going to bed and then he comes back. So if you guys have some questions, or you know what, let me get into. I'm gonna open up on X and see if someone has questions over there. And if not, then we'll jump to what we're gonna talk about.
We're not talking about what we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Oh.
So guys, there's like four of you guys on Twitter. So if you want to ask us some questions, you can click on the link on YouTube. So it's like right there. I posted it. There you go. So on this one, what I wanted to focus is like what you mentioned, that we're going to have a lot of new people coming in, people that don't know um, much about
They
crypto.
won't understand anything you have said so far at all.
So how do we, number one, how do we tackle that then before I go through this list of things? Because then this
I
list of
think,
things might not even make sense then.
well, I mean, that list of things will make sense to people that still are interested in the foundation. But just like in the future, I think we need to have like a playlist of videos, like start here, like super noob stuff. But there's still going to be people that are not, that are still going to come to this channel for information. So
That makes sense. To just have like all kinds of playlists of so someone that's just brand new. Here's how you turn on your computer.
Yes.
Here's how you brush your teeth. Um, no, but I mean for real.
No,
So super basic. Like this is how you turn on. This is how you
I
download a
think
MetaMask. This is how you right.
it's I think it's important too to maybe acknowledge some fears because like everything we were just talking about, like scams and shit, like people that aren't in crypto already have this like media filled bullshit idea that you're just going to get scammed and wrecked. If you, well, they don't even know the word wrecked, right? So they're already super cautious or wary. I think we need to acknowledge that fact, like first, about how, like safety tips, like safety and like terminology and all of that. I mean, you could have a whole crypto dictionary. There's so many words.
There
It's
you
like
go.
a
I
second.
started
There's
doing
it's
something
like a
like
second
that.
language. Yeah.
I started doing one like that, but for taxes. So I have like a shout out to Miss Amy because she gave me that idea to do it for the taxes. Because it was just so much easier. And now what I do is like every so often I just add to it.
I think it's important to like let let people know that crypto can be safe, but it can be very not safe. So you need to do your research and you need to get educated and you need to learn, warning signs and certain things because I think that's like new people, no coiners' biggest fear is just getting scammed or getting wrecked or losing, you know, their retirement plan or whatever. So I don't know. There's so many things, and like being involved with Texan, like it's thrown in my face all the time. Like I don't know anything, but if I talk to like my girls at work, they think I'm a freaking rocket scientist. I'll just say a couple of things about crypto and they're like, "Oh my god, you're so smart." And the community knows that I'm not that smart. Like I'll be the first to admit it. Like I know basics. I don't know everything or close to. It
I
gets
know
super
basics.
complicated. What?
I said I know basics.
You can get super complicated sometimes. Like I mean, most people don't know about crypto tax. Like that's a lot by itself. And then just the SEC and laws and regulations and all of that, like that's way past my knowledge base. I have trouble keeping up with that, to be honest, because I don't have time to keep up
I
with that.
see. To
But
me it was mostly I guess be fortunate enough that in 2018 when Richard started talking about the whole Howey test and regulations, I was already following, his channels and
well,
following
that's
like
another
his.
thing is like
Mhm.
this is our passion. We do have just an interest in general, and most people are not. But they do need money.
Point.
They do need the future. They do need retirement, but they're not nerds like us that are just like fascinated with it all by like it's our hobby. It's a number of things for us. Most people are just going to be like, "Where's my money?" They don't they don't want to be all like we are just on Twitter and YouTube all day every day listening to crypto content. So that
True.
you have to take that into that's a factor too.
Great point. Great point. Well, babe, let's. Do you wanna play your clips?
Yeah, it's super important that everybody sees
Super,
it.
super important, by the way, of
Yes.
course. So shout out to Heartbeat and Rags that they were having their conversations. Um, so this was yesterday hanging out with Heartbeat.
What's up?
Was
What up? Dude, you're looking good, man. That beard is awesome. You look
Yeah,
like an
it's coming
operator.
together.
Every time I see you, Like, can I see the? Can I see the hair? Because you're like
Oh.
super shaved, right? Oh yeah.
I am such a troll, but that was good content. I don't care what anyone says.
Some good content, you said. I see.
Yes, yes.
We were having fun over there. So I wanted to also I have this list of things that I wanted to talk about, and it was a few things that I agree that we were doing in like 2019, 2020, and they were coming a little easier back then, but like now it almost seems that only a few groups are doing this, but it might be because there's a new coin coming out, a new NFT coming out, a new this or that. So it's almost like that's the only incentive, so that I think that that's what we're missing, because it's almost like there's always going to be a new token, there's always going to be a new coin, there's always going to be a new platform, a new shiny object. So that's my thinking, like, are we doing it the right way, or are we not? And that's why I wanted to talk about some of these things. Like, the first one that I wanted to talk about is educate and communicate, which, that we've been trying to do that, you know pre-launch of Hex, pre-launch of Pulse, and we've been trying to communicate as much as possible on anything that we would see. We was either, like you mentioned earlier, either changes on taxation, changes on regulation, and maybe changes in the even in the community, right? Because we were seeing how some some interests were shifting, and then obviously those shifts were gonna either make price go up or down or whatever. So some of the things that you mentioned as well, community platforms and social media. So I mentioned to utilize various community platforms such as social media forums, chat channels, encourage discussions, answer queries promptly, and create sense of inclusivity. So I know that you guys at Texan are doing that either in your streams with Rax, with Crypto Heartbeat, or then on the weekends with the Texan Tailgate. So I think you guys are doing that, and that's pretty much what we're trying to incentivize out of this channel as well, just to have a place that new projects can come in, and we can continue to grow. I think it's important. I uh, I think is very important that we focus on the growth, because like earlier someone in the other stream mentioned that, how do you focus on growth? Well, I mean, like, it's easy. Like, you verify how many wallets are you creating, how many validators are they launching, like, brand new, right? So it's like we have like 50,000 now, so in like 6 months, how many will we have then? We can verify the different groups, right? Are the groups engaged? Like, are they growing? Are there, there's chats every week? Are people going into Twitter Spaces and also engaging that way? So I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can verify that the community is growing. In our case, I feel that the good thing that we have is, like, all this parts have been like very, very boring the last, like, what, 3 to 6 months, even though we launched. So it's funny to say that, but it was like we're launching a layer one, we're launching a DEX, but it was in this part of the market, so it's been boring times, or price go down time. But we'll see. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I don't know if I would say boring unless you were just looking at Richard Hart projects. Like, I
Good
think
point.
when I came in May of 2021, it was so much simpler back then. Like, everyone was on the same page, everybody had the same focus, everyone was doing the same thing, and now it's all over the place. Like, it's complicated. But however, if you're just looking at Richard Hart products, it's easy. Yeah, it's boring. But there's just, I mean, your attention can get thrown all over the place right now if within the hex community or hexagons. It's kind of complicated.
I hear you. And I guess like real soon we'll be able to go back and verify was like was it a good deal or was was someone making money? Were they not making money? Was it a good investment? Was it the same recycled money over and over and over? Which is what I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see a lot of people that say we're growing this, we're doing that, we're buying this, we're bringing in this many people, and then when you go into the blockchain, you can see the truth. You can see that it's just money from pocket left going into pocket right, and someone saying, "Look, now my pocket has double the money," but you're like, No. So we'll see. Let's see. Will's saying, "Not boring for me. I keep minting PSN and unit to get pulse." I mean, I know that like on the PSN mints that I did at long term, those were okay, but I mean those are like 400 days. And the idea was like you were minting them at $1, so you were minting it at $1 and automatically getting like $3. So it was like an automatic like 2 and 3x no matter what. So I mean there was place, but do you want to be in the computer minting every day 5 and 10 wallets for $3 to get $30 a day? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good deal.
I have to say, P what? I don't got time for that shit.
You're too much. So the other things that I wanted to talk about is developer outreach. So actively engage with developers, provide robust documentation, developer resources, and incentives like grants or hackathons to attract and retain talent. And we know that that's what we were talking about then, to engage in obviously new updates when it came to PulseChain and specifically also in Ethereum. So that way in the future, it would be like easier for us to be on top of the game. Like I appreciate everything that the developers in Pulse Chain have done. Guys like Brett P and Gamma DevOps and the other guys that were also pushing a bunch of the things into that GitLab. But it's just I don't know if that's the smart thing to do. Like, should we always count on Richard to be sending tweets for us to figure out when new updates were happening in the chain, or should we be taking a lead to help out, and not be expecting any type of work from Richard or anyone? We're helping, we're taking the lead. So I think that's important, specifically when we see all these new projects with secret developers with all these secret intentions of liquidity providing and all this other stuff that makes no sense because we see it. Um, Also, we could do like ambassador programs, right? Which is something that I've noticed that you guys are pretty much doing. You guys are reaching out to a lot of people around the community, for your guys' brand, for the Texan brand. So I think that's pretty cool. Mentioned establish an ambassador program to empower passionate community members. These ambassadors can help spread awareness, answer questions, and organize local events. So it's pretty much what you guys are doing with the Texan tailgate, and your guys' team. So that's awesome. Um, Also, that would create, we can do incentive mechanisms. So create incentives for community participation, such as staking rewards, governance tokens. Obviously, that would be incentivized by using like PLSX and in your guys' products that I don't know about yet, but I hear Matt mentioning more and more. So it's those type of things. I think we're doing it at the right time. We're doing it at the time where, like I said earlier, it was like the quote unquote boring times. And once the bull market comes back, then we'll be set. I think that a lot of people do that. They they get focused only on the good times, and then whenever it's like the boring times or the bear market, they don't focus on educating themselves, they don't focus on learning. I mean, think about how many people now in the last 3 months they're going to come back and check the app for PLSX and then be all confused in a couple of weeks or months because they just completely left. So um so
If you
yeah, I
miss
think
one day and come back, you're gonna be left behind. Like it's a lot.
yeah, great point. So, and then the last three that I wanted to talk about, it was partnerships. So, for strategic partnerships with other projects, businesses, or influencers in the blockchain space to increase visibility and collaboration opportunities. And, we are all doing that. So, we're all pushing. It's almost like all these different projects, we are pushing that direction for Pulse. The other one, scalability and efficiency. So continuously work on improving the scalability and efficiency of your blockchain. So that's what we're talking about with engaging with new developers that can focus on any type of updates that are happening with Ethereum, and then we can deploy on our side. And the one that I think is one of the most important is transparency. So it says maintain transparency in your development process, decision making, and future plans. This builds trust within the community and showcases a commitment to the long term success of PulseChain. Okay, so I think that those are kind of important, and I wanted to cover them in our quote unquote um, first episode here on the PulseChain Foundation channel.
This is the first episode.
Well, technically, it's like the fifth,
Okay.
but who's counting? So, and then it also actually mentions, remember, growing a community takes time and consistent effort. Be responsive to feedback, adapt to changes, and celebrate milestones with your community. So, of course, the PulseChain community has got more than what, like 50,000, 60,000 people. Probably more like 100,000 if we count everyone that's not on Telegram and not on Twitter. Like every so often, we continue to see uh, a lot of people that they're just not on the socials. So it's still a good thing. So sweetie, I think we're gonna leave it at that. Do you want to like add something? Do you want to?
Not this time.
All righty. So let me. Will says also, I've seen your video from other people that love Pulse because it's never gone any other change they're doing, and that's 100% running. There you go. Pulse gas fees is cheap as hell. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, like, I'm sure that if you were doing the same thing I was doing, then you were paying that. You're paying $1, right? So you're paying $1 for 400 days, or $1 for 4 billion tokens. Like, I mean, trust me, I have a ladder coming up. It's at 400 days. So I did the original ladder was only like 50 days. Then I already burned through the 100-day ladder, and yeah, and then now the third ladder that I did, it was at 400 days. So it's like maybe like 250 days away or something. So I mean, it'll pay up. It's just yeah, all that send though, it'll be turned into back into Pulse, because I figured out that it's just depending on the way that I'm doing it. As long as I'm only paying like $1 in Pulse, I can always do a 2 or 3x, which it looks like it's not much, but as long as the prices stay low, I can always get that much more Pulse. Obviously, once the price goes over sacrifice and all that, then that'll change. But we'll see. Is there a vision to organize behind crypto-friendly super PACs or electing crypto-friendly legislators? Like for now, no, Joe. Like in our case, like for example, in the endowment fund that the guys did on Texan, they did for the 501c4. In our case, so the 501c4, they can be with a political movement. Um, but I went with the 501c3 because that's more of an educational educational foundation, and then we can also get better, or I don't want to say that that's all what we're doing it for, but we can get better tax deductions as a 501c3. Like we can, for example, if anyone that donates to us, they can deduct like almost all of that money. And then in our side, when we receive it and we use it for educational purpose related to PulseChain and the foundation, then it's also tax free. So it's just, as long as it's related to what we're doing in our mission, then it's almost like 100% of the money that we bring in is for our mission. And then it's just, I think, plus the fact that if at any point in time we decide that we want to do something political and turn it into some type of political action campaign, um, we can always change the, from 501c3 to 501c4, and that won't be a problem. But for now, I think that our main focus should be, let's just grow PulseChain, have always a team that can, stay on top of any type of developments when it comes to the network, and that way we don't have to always count on Richard or put that pressure on Richard. He can just go and retire, do his thing. Like, we need to start doing stuff. Like Richard used to always tell us, if we want something, we need to go do it. And I think that was our main focus on register the PulseChain Foundation. We wanted to make sure that this is going to be here not just for the next 5 years, but for the next 50. And MP Hack says the foundation will be great. I agree. I think we're going to be able to, like Quinn was saying, we're going to be able to go from the basics of the basics all the way to like bringing in new projects, bringing in developers, bringing in people that can grow our network and grow our adoption, and we can educate as many people as possible, because we're not seeing it in Ethereum right now, right? Like, it's just that network is just not pro the everyday person. Like, the everyday person is not going to be able to use DeFi, use crypto, if all they're doing is just spending 20, 40, $50 in gas to just do a couple of stakes or something. It's just not, it's not productive. So babe, you wanna close with something? You wanna add something, or you wanna?
No.
Well, I guess we go back to date night. So, and I wanted to add this little clip from Harvey, because I mentioned it to him yesterday. How what we need to do is just tokenize the crowdfund for the PulseChain Foundation, and maybe he has some ideas. So I wanted to like share that clip from him, because, like I said, any funds that we bring into the foundation is just going to be used for educational purposes. We're going to basically pump our own bag. So, wanted to share that real quick.
We registered the PulseChain Foundation, and we're awaiting a 501c3 tax exemption. We can tokenize that crowdfund. Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. That's an interesting one there. PulseChain Foundation. Question is, what's the purpose, right? And does the community see that purpose? We've obviously kind of tokenized the PulseChain community because we got Pulse and PulseX and Hex and such. But, I look at this and I say, where are communities of trust? Hex really built this community organically. There are so many places that have trust that you don't even have to build them organically. They're already built, all for blockchain educational purposes. Yeah. And that's the key. It's a bit different than what we've done in the past, partly because we have this community around these core things. But yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm open to, I like the idea of independence, and I like the idea of countries and the people within countries embracing something that's not controlled by the central bank. I mean, that's really the whole purpose of Bitcoin, right? Is that it's economic freedom from the centralized parties. And so that's the whole point.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's our next step.
Sounds awesome. Sounds good.
Well, I think we should leave it at that. Maybe we'll do another one of these maybe in like a month or like something like that, because as of right now, it's all waiting on paperwork, waiting on You know, like we are officially registered. We have our EIN, we have our business bank account, but then it's like a matter of like now getting the tax exemption form, because I think that's what will we'll get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? At that point, like I said, we can start telling anyone, hey, you want to get some type of tax deduction, use it this way. And then, like I said, we'll use it for marketing. We'll use it to pump our backs. So, well, guys, I think we're going to leave it at that. And like I always say, catch us on the next one. And we'll see you around the block.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow.
It's good talking to you guys. I want you to know I'm looking out for you. I care about you. You matter tons to me. Please try and make the world a better place. The game is about robustness, privacy, security, decentralization, and relevant and substantive comments. I wish you guys the maddest of gains. I'll talk to you later.